So for the next segment, we're going to be talking about American culture. A lot of this stuff might not be news, but I thought we would just go over what's been happening these past 2 years. So during the pandemic, yeah, we've had some key people, some key trends coming up, So we're just going to go through a few of those key people. So who are some key people? Well, we've got Spider-Man's Tom Holland. So before, we kind of heard about him, but he started becoming more of like a regular actor in Hollywood. And then we have Adele. So this past album from Adele, 30, that's been another hit. So, Grammy-winning artist. Another person that we saw coming up a lot, Elon Musk. Really, we were hearing about him practically every week. Things that he said, sending stock markets tumbling, everything. So we had also some interesting trends coming up too. So I use Instagram, I use social media, maybe not as much as some people, but I still use it. So, but what was happening during the pandemic is we had a lot of these trends focusing on our lifestyles. So to make it a little bit easier to stay at home nonstop, So during that time, some of the trends that popped up were self-care, right? So we wanted to make it really comfy. We wanted to be more pampered at home. So I bought during that time a roller set. I normally would not buy this, but I started reading up online, and a lot of people were talking about how you can use rollers to just smooth out your skin. And it became this pampering activity. Another thing that came up with self-care was just, doing something and indulging in things. Before, we would never get the time to really just stop and take time to do something because it felt good. So there was definitely that, and it really helped. After that, let's see, some of the trends that also popped up on social media were, like I said, TikTok, right? So TikTok was huge. We had cheugy as a new word for a new movement. So cheugy, what is cheugy? So cheugy is basically a word that kind of makes fun of millennials. So kind of makes fun of people in my generation. Haha. So it's a word that says hey, you're trying too hard, or hey, you're kind of out of date, you're not fashionable anymore. So what you're wearing is cheugy, things like that. So slogans that you'll see on mugs like girl boss or things like that. Someone might call you out on that and say you're being cheugy. So all right, so if you're cheugy, then what do? Well, I guess you have to just watch TikTok and find out what's trendy. So we'll have to do more homework and try harder. I don't know, or not try at all. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so we had that. My personal favorite trend, though, I have to say, is dark academia. Because I kind of really liked watching Dead Poets Society back in the 90s, because I'm kind of a 90s kid. So I liked grunge, I liked everything that came out of the 90s. And having dark academia just kind of bring back what it feels like to just spend time with a book, sit alone at home and just stare out the window and, think in a way that's very poetic. Seemed kind of this beautiful movement that just came out during the pandemic, because this is all stuff you could just do at home. I mean, you could make a nice cup of tea and you could just be moody and sit by a rainy window and pretend that you're looking outside of a university giant Gothic window and you're dressed in these uniforms that are cute, your woolen blazer, your plaid skirt, so all these fashion images were very, very strong in the 90s. And now that they're coming back, it kind of feels like, wow, this feels like new and fresh again, you know? So that was definitely like a personal like favorite of mine, I think, during this time. Other than that, I think that was pretty much it. I think I'm trying to think if anything else like really happened during these past 2 years. It's like, but I have been mostly staying at home myself. And you know, whatever news there is on Kim Kardashian and Kanye, it pops up on my phone whether I want to see it or not. And I guess now they're not together. I guess I don't know if anybody would have predicted that would have eventually led to a breakup, but if you did predict that, then congrats, you win. So they're no longer together, and now who knows what's going to happen next? I don't know. Is the world going to end? No, but we're all trying to get back to what that new normal is. And so we'll see what that's going to be. So thanks for joining today, and I hope you have a good day.